Okay, I figured out my key to success, now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith. I'm uptown, I'm the one they wanna shop with. Run off with the bag even though we don't shoplift. All that gun talk y'all want, I'm not with. It's not cool, everybody got them long clips. You gon' mess around and get one of your dogs hit. And when you do, I hope you know you're not John Wick.
Welcome back. You're not locked in with DK and Atwood. I'm Atwood. Kill it to my left, DK. A couple things I want to talk about today. There's some influencers that apparently got together and fought to settle a beef. So I think that's pretty respectable. Although I don't think they actually fought. I think they grappled. But it was Logan Paul and Bradley Martin. Do you know Bradley Martin?
Oh yeah, they grappled.
Well, they didn't film it. All they showed was the ending, of them settling it. So, they definitely didn't have a fist fight because neither one of them looked like they had been in a fist fight. Maybe they had boxing gloves on. I don't know, but more than likely they probably just grappled.
This Bradley Martin guy is starting to piss me off.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, because he's asking everybody if they think that.
Well, he's just getting first of all, the guy lifts weights. He's not a fighter.
No.
Period. And I saw him smack some little kid around or whatever, but then he let the kid smack him back. Did you see that?
Because the kid took his hat?
Yeah, the kid took his hat.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that was a bit of a roid rage.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, man. Anyways, Bradley, if you want it, you can get it here, too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not afraid of you. Please, let's do something here. We can do something here. I'll come to you. Yeah, we can get it going, man. And fucking Logan Paul, Jake Paul, all those fucking guys, man. Fuck them all. Fuck them all. You guys just are ridiculous with this fucking clout chasing stuff, thinking that you're fighters and trying to make money off the fighters, It just pisses me off, man.
Would you say that
I've been doing this since they were pissing in their fucking underwear, man. You know what I'm saying? So, fucking Jake Paul and these fucking retards, man.
Would you say that Jake Paul is a boxer now?
No.
He'll never be a boxer?
I don't think so. No.
There's
a difference between you coming up. There's a difference between you coming up and you're grinding every day and you're going to this club. You're going to a boxing club, learning, processing things. Not, oh, man, I want to learn how to box. Let me hire some trainers to come to my house to train me in my fucking $1 million mansion, in my own boxing ring that I just bought. Even though I've never boxed in one, I'm going to buy a boxing ring. And then I'm going to, I commend their effort, but if you have money, there's everything. You can do anything in this world that you want to do if you have money, right? My wife, Megan, she says, people aren't ugly. They're just broke.
Yeah.
So if you want to look pretty, you can spend the money and look pretty. I mean, you look at the countless people, let's say Kim Kardashian, how many plastic surgeries has that girl had? Her family, how many plastic surgeries, butt lifts, tummy tucks, all that shit have they had, facial stuff that they've had. What's her name that does the Jennifer's Body? What's her name?
I don't know.
She was on Transformers.
Oh, Megan Fox?
Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Megan Fox. Look at her when she first did the first Transformers compared to now.
I thought she was hot then.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's got a body. She doesn't think she looks good. So she has a body dysmorphia thing. She doesn't think she's pretty. Something. She's the prettiest girl on earth. I mean, that's based upon media stuff.
Right.
Anyway, sorry guys getting on these rants, man, but these people just piss me off because they don't know how to fight. Man, dude, they don't know how to fight. They think that getting in a fight in a bar or a club is considered fighting. I used to think that way too when I was 19, 20, fighting in bars and clubs every weekend. Every weekend, dude, I was getting into a fight or a scuffle. And then I was like, man, I really want to know how to fight. And I found somebody, started learning, and I was like, dude, I want to fight for real, you know. And I started fighting in MMA. And fuck this, it's the hardest thing in the world, man. Like, I mean, I was tired, exhausted in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I was exhausted, ready to quit. You know? I don't know, man.
So, when it comes to Jake Paul specifically, not fighting, but like he's not a fighter. But would you consider him a decent boxer?
Decent, yeah.
Because I mean,
more Jake than Logan, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Which one's the older one?
Logan's the older one. Jake is the younger one that's been boxing. You know, Tyron Woodley and all those guys.
Yeah. Fuck them all.
What do you say to somebody like Mike Tyson who says that Jake Paul is good for the sport?
It's getting people interested in the fighting that wouldn't normally be interested in it. So what does that do? That brings more money to the sport. That brings more viewership, which brings more money. Yeah. And so
which also brings more talent.
Brings more talent, and it opens up a lot of you get a kid who's like super athletic, but he's never thought about boxing before, but he sees it, he's like, dang, he's like, maybe I'm gonna try box. And then, you know, I don't know, works his way out. It's just wild, man. It's wild how a sport like boxing that is we're gonna call it a poor man's sport. All right. Boxing. But now it's turning into what I mean by poor man's sport is the people that get involved in it usually don't have anything. You know? And so they're fighting for fame. They're fighting for their life. They're fighting for, you know, doing different things, man. And, you know, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, they're fighting for YouTube numbers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, it really angers me, especially after a weekend we had, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Just you see the people put their heart and soul and like they've dedicated their life to this life. His life wasn't dedicated to boxing.
Yeah, the past couple of years.
Yeah, past couple of years, not his life, man. You get kids that they start 16, 17, 18, 19 years old and they're like, all right, this is what I want to do, man. When I was that age, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah. I didn't know what I wanted to do at 18, 19 years old. I joined the military just to get a bonus check. And just so I could have money. I didn't even know what my job was. I was so stupid, man. So stupid. Anyways. Just grinds my gears.
We'll get back to the weekend that we've had here in a minute. But first, I just wanted to... The whole Bradley Martin and Logan Paul thing, I don't even know what the beef was. I think that they kind of talked some shit about one another and one wanted to fight the other in like an MMA fight or whatever.
I want to fight them both at the same time.
But I do commend them for whether they just grappled or whatever happened, right? Like they turned the cameras off for once, you know, and just kind of handled it. I would like to see it though. But from the body language afterwards, it looked like Logan got the better of him. You know, he was all smiling and talkative, and Brad was just kind of just sitting there, you know. So
with his head in his sand, head in his
head and then his
in between his
biceps.
Yeah,
his roided out biceps.
I don't even know who that guy is anyway.
Bradley
I
Martin?
know who he is, but I'm like, who is he? You know what I'm saying?
I think he got famous on Instagram for like just being jacked and doing workout videos or some shit.
Okay.
And then he started like doing a bunch of shit with like milk boys and stuff like that.
What a dork.
Yeah. He's not my favorite.
People are grinding my gears this morning. I'm just
Oh yeah? You're on one today, huh?
On one, man. Those people like that, dude. Sound like a robot back there.
Yeah, I think it's a lace radio.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about the weekend, right? So, I know I said that I was going to do an embedded, and we were going to have that done on Monday, but things happened, and I don't know if I have significant footage to make that happen. So that's to be determined. But let's talk about the weekend, man.
Yeah. So Maverick MMA, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Me and you flew up. Mm-hmm. Austin and Nick drove up, and so Austin got this. He fought Saturday night, so in order to cut weight, he got a little portable sauna, which is what a lot of guys are using these days to help cut weight. However, things didn't go as planned. Missed weight by a couple pounds. Got fined $300. Austin did, and so didn't necessarily look the best on us starting off, but that was just like the beginning of things to happen. So. Organization, event, everything's awesome at Maverick. Everything was cool, right? I think that's the best locker room we've ever had.
Yeah, that locker room was sick, dude.
Yeah.
So they
we
put
were by
us in a green
too.
room.
A green room, yeah.
And then you're walking through the hall there, and you see all the famous people. I mean, so many different famous people that have performed there. Like, we were sitting on a couch that, Britney Spears could have been
on. Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine how many naughty things have happened in that.
Yeah, dude, that was like at the House of Blues. The House of Blues, they put you up in the in the green room up there.
Upstairs.
But it's like there's couches up there. It's a big area, And who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man?
All those rock and rollers up there. Anyways, so went on for the fight. Fight happened. We were co-main event. Everything's looking great. Everything's looking fresh. He's comes out of the fight, exchanges. And I told Austin, I was like, as soon as you touch this kid, he's going to try to take you down, man. And he touched him a couple times, and kid was like, all right, I'm going to try to take him down and grapple with him. Austin defended, ended up taking him down, almost got him mount, got him, was on top, doing some ground and pound. And then in a transition, somehow the kid got up and tried to put Austin's back onto the cage and try to take him down. And during a little transition, he hit Austin with a little elbow. And it dropped Austin, and Austin went down, and he's just, man, he didn't let up. He was relentless with the ground and pound, and, Keith Peterson gave him plenty of time, man, to fight back and try to defend himself. But unfortunately, it's just he succumbed to strikes. And that was the end of the fight, man. First round. And it was really tough. And it's really tough to see somebody that, Austin's 27 years old. He's been training with me since he was 19 and trained before that. His first fight was with me. I think I've only missed one or two of his fights. He's at 8 pro. He had 7 amateur or 9 amateur, somewhere around in there. And then, 8 pro so far. So it's like, been with the kid and riding along with him for a long time, and to see him take a misstep like that, and we were talking about this. You lose a fight, it's 2 steps back.
Yeah,
it's like you literally have to win 3 fights to overcome that fight. Yeah. So Austin's 4-4, and so you put him at, if he wins 3 fights in a row, that's 7-4. Which isn't great, but it's not bad. Yeah. But he'll probably have to be 9-4, 10-4 in order to do anything now, in order to get called to a bigger promotion. So that's hard to win 3, 4, 5 fights in a row.
Yeah.
So, but it sucks, man. But yeah, during the fight, like at the very beginning, you got kicked out of the corner.
Oh, yeah. The commission there. And now going forward, I will think of this. I never thought of it before. We talked to promotion. The promotion was cool. They gave me a media pass and everything, but the commission was not. They did not want me sitting there. Yeah. And that dude was a prick about it.
So the old guy that remember he was talking about the old regime or whatever that used to be in. Yeah. So that old guy, his name was Serb, and he wasn't super old, but he was old, and he was a fucking dick too, man. It's so weird how these MMA or these boxing or athletic commissions think that they are the biggest shit to, like, you know what I'm saying, dude? Like, you get so many of these guys that just boss people around and they're just assholes.
Yeah.
You know, in Maryland, it was like that in Maryland. We were fighting. I remember we were talking about in Baltimore. Jay-Z fought in Baltimore, and commissioner comes up to our corner and is like, he needs to tie his hair back. Like, he had his dreads, made us tie his hair up. Excuse me. Made us tie his hair up with tape.
Wow.
With tape, dude. He had to tie his hair up with tape.
Damn.
And I was like, what do you want us to tie it up with? He's like, I don't care. Kind of like that guy.
Yeah.
I don't care. Do it now. And you only got, like, when you're in the corner, you got a minute.
Yeah.
To give your fighter instruction, take his mouthpiece out, put ice on him, give him fluids, you know, let him take a breather, give him instruction. All these things, man, you only got a minute.
And really, you only got like 50 seconds because
you got seconds out.
Yep.
Really 45 seconds, 40 seconds if you get in there as fast as possible, because by the time they open the door, you go in, time's counting down, you know.
Yep.
So.
And that dude, well, he was a bit of a dick. And I was kind of like, the second time we exchanged words, I was kind of a dick too, because at that point I was just like, man, fuck you, dude. Like, you don't have to be such a dick, you know, because he said not in the corner, you know. And then I was like, all right, well, I was right up against the cage with the camera, so I backed up like 5 feet, you know, and then I wasn't in the corner anymore. And then he said, are you going to listen to me, or am I going to have you thrown out? And I was like, looked at him, I was like, well, where do you want me to go?
Yeah, I remember.
And he's like, pick a seat. And I was like, I'm in a fucking seat. He's like, pick another one. I was like, okay. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, you know, up until that point, that was, I mean, that, after I watched the video back, I felt like some of the fight had played out first, but it was because I was sitting there filming all the introduction and shit. That was like maybe 20 seconds into the actual fight itself.
Yeah, it was no time.
Yeah, and then whenever I
looked back and there was
else,
an exchange, and I was like, all right, fuck Atwood.
yeah. And I was like, once I got to the spot where the only spot I could go, the fight kind of like took place on a part of the cage where it's just a big fucking pylon in front of me and couldn't really see shit. So I didn't, when it comes down to like actually seeing the fight itself, I didn't really see much of anything. But I also, let's talk about what happened when we first got there to Philly at the airport.
Oh yeah, dude. Wow.
DK had a moment, man, where he was like, he was the
Captain Save-A-Ho.
He was a good Samaritan.
Yeah. So we go to Philly airport. We're there, and we're kind of just hanging out. We get off, you know, go down the escalator, everything. We're out front waiting for the shuttle. And we're standing there, and I got a backpack on. You know, I got my cell phone, so I'm like, man, I'm gonna go. Like, we were standing right next to the road, looking at the shuttle. Shuttle comes by, and we missed the shuttle. Got to wait for another one. So during this time, you know, crowd starts building up next to the shuttle to wait and everything. So I'm like, man, I'm going to get away from all these people, and I'm going to go around to the back, you know, to where it opens up a little bit and people weren't so crowded, you know, where the shuttle entrance was. So I back up, and I got my backpack. I take my backpack off, and I swing it around. I like, only free hand I have at the time is my left hand. You know, my right hand's got my cell phone in it, some other stuff. And I'm like, going about that time I hear, hey, stop them. Stop him. And I'm like, what the hell? And about that time, this dude in a suit is coming running around the corner right there. And he's got this bag in his hand, like a paper bag, but it's like a nice bag, like he's just been shopping or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just bought something from the store. And so it's a paper bag with the paper handles and stuff, you know, really nice. And So, and I'm like, man, this guy just stole something, right? So I snatched this dude up by the back of his suit, grabbed him, boom, one hand, and threw him up against the trash can, right? So I throw him, and I'm trying to bang him up against the trash can to stop him, but dude is flailing around everywhere, trying to get away, and you heard the trash can. You're
I
like,
saw
what?
it, dude. And when he says suit, okay, this dude was dressed like he was going to church on Sunday morning.
Yes.
He
Yeah,
had the Billy Ray Cyrus flat bill cowboy hat on to match.
Little feather in it.
Like
and
this
everything,
dude
man.
was
He
dressed to the
done
nines,
up, man.
and he was squirrely. He was probably like my size, maybe a little shorter.
Yeah. But
and he was
older guy too, man.
Dude, this guy looked like he could have been 50 something.
Yeah.
But he moved like,
dude, I
he moved
grabbed
like
this
he was my
guy,
age.
and it was like I was in a freaking
Yeah.
rodeo, dude. He was just flailing around. I'm like, come here. I'm trying to kick his legs out from underneath him, and trying to knock him down. About that time, the bag rips.
Yeah.
Right? The box of shoes. He had a box of shoes in the bag, and it falls to the ground. And when I say box of shoes, it wasn't like a pair of Jordans. It wasn't anything.
No, it was like some nice dress shoes.
Yeah, some dress shoes or something. I don't even know what brand they were.
And at this point in time, we don't even know what's
Don't even know what he's
on.
got.
We
don't
just
even know what he stole.
I didn't even hear the guy, but DK was back further. I was still standing by the road. But apparently the dude said, stop him, right? So automatically you're assuming, all right, he stole something. So you grab him, but you still don't even know if he really even stole anything.
Yeah, I just got this dude, and I'm just yanking him around everywhere, trying to get him to the ground. I was trying to get him to the ground so I could get like knee on belly on him, and I can see what's going on, man. I was really, I didn't think about it at the time, but like, dude could, if he had a gun, he could have turned around and shot me.
Oh, if he had a knife, he could have
stabbed me. Yeah,
it looked
whatever.
like for a second he was going to swing at you too.
Yeah, I thought he was going to as well. But could you imagine, dude, if he would have swung at me? That would have been fun.
That I would have pulled the camera out
dude.
at that point.
That would have been fun. Anyways, bag rips, falls on the ground in front of the street. So needless to say, remember, 4 or 5 lanes of traffic at the Philadelphia airport, right? And we're in the first lane of traffic where the shuttle buses pull up. Box falls right there. I step on it. I look at him, and he's like, you remember Debo?
Yeah.
Where Debo gets knocked out?
Yeah.
And his dad runs up there, and he's like, what, you want some too, old man? And he's like, no. Man, I don't know why you coming around here messing with these people, and picks his son up after he got knocked out.
Yep.
Anyways, I stepped on it. I looked at him, and the guy goes, no. And he turns around and freaking runs,
And I mean,
bro.
he ran so fast that after he just took off and immediately started running, there was somebody else who walked up and started talking, and I turned, I looked at them, and by the time I could turn back,
he's gone.
That dude was gone.
Gone, dude. Into wherever he went. I didn't see him.
I just know he took off like we're standing here, it's going this way, the roads, and he went that way. Yeah. So that's all I know.
Dude.
But then, it was an older white dude, big white dude that was like chasing this dude.
Like 300 pounds.
Yeah, like huge. Comes up and he shakes DK's hand, and then we look down, and you pick up the box.
Yeah.
And then you open it, and sure enough, somehow, like, I don't know how he got a hold of this lady's shit, but it looked like some sort of like fancy little billfold.
Yep.
That he had put in. I don't know. Was it in the shoebox?
I think it was in the bag.
In the bag with the shoebox? I think
it was in the bag. Yeah. So here's what I think he was doing. Going down the escalator. So what happened is he's unzipped this lady's backpack as he's going down the escalator. She's down lower than him, so he can just boom and slide it into his bag. Really easy. Mm-hmm. And then just keep walking, right? I had a dude try to pickpocket me in Wilmington once. And I had just got out of the military about a year, man, and I was dealing with some stuff mentally. And so I didn't really like being in, and I'm still this way sometimes. I don't like being in tight places, right? So very similar to the shuttle bus thing. I was like, I got to get out of here. I can get to the back so I can see everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm in downtown Wilmington. It's, packed. And I'm walking along, and, for some reason I got a funny feeling, man. I look over my shoulder, and about the time I look over my shoulder, I thought somebody was coming by me. I look over my shoulder to kind of move out of the way, and a guy is reaching
like this, like he's going in my back pocket, bro.
Damn.
And so I turn around, like, I mean, I literally see him, and I'm like, I said, what the fuck are you doing, bro? He's like, oh, man. He's like, I was just trying to mess with your bag or whatever. I said, no, you weren't. I said, you trying to, like, and so what had happened is I had my wallet in my back pocket, and then I had a piece of, like, a brochure that was in there, and it had my shirt kind of pinned to my back, so you could just literally slip your hand right in there and go grab, you know? So anyways, and he had a sling on. So here's the thing with pickpocketers, guys. They're going to pickpocket you, and they got to have something to put it in.
Yep.
So it doesn't look like they have anything, right? So they don't look like they have anything in their hand, don't look like they did anything. So this guy had a sling on. So I think he was pickpocketing stuff, putting it in the sling area. Yeah. You know, right there. Anyways, turn around, he's got a sling. He's like, oh, well, you know, I was just messing with your bag or whatever. I was trying. And I was like, no, fuck. He's like, man, I'm with these people up here. I wasn't trying to. It was like, why the fuck would you be trying to mess with my bag, dude? Like, that I got in my right hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you be? I don't know you. You know, dude, I was literally in his stance. And about that time, all the blood left my extremities, man. And so I was in fight or flight. And I was like, man, I'm about to kick this fucking guy's head off, man. Like, I was literally just thinking of throwing a left high kick and just taking his head off. Even though I'm not that good at left high kicks. My left high is better than my right high. Anyway, I was just wanting to kick this motherfucker, man. Anyways, got calmed down. But yeah, man, second encounter. But anyways, stopped this dude in Philly and knocked him around a little bit. And the people got their little purse back. And the man came in. He looks at me, he grabs me. He's like, thank you.
Yeah.
Grabs me by my arm. Thank you. Did he shake your hand too?
Yeah, it shook mine, even though I didn't do anything.
Oh, Atwood was a stand.
All I did was I grabbed the dude's shoulder for a second.
Like, hey, fucker.
Yeah, well, I grabbed his shoulder while you had the other shoulder because I was just thinking, like, well, I guess I'm just going to do what DK's doing. And just grab the shoulder.
Grab this guy.
And, but yeah, and then after that, we noticed that our next
Shut
trolley came. So we took off running. And I think that some people thought that we were leaving the scene of a crime that we committed.
Yeah.
Because then the cops come up to the trolley bus,
To
stop
shuttle,
it
yeah,
to
and
talk
get us
to
out.
us.
And it was like, oh, we're like, dude, we didn't do anything. Go talk to that guy.
Right.
So
that
wild
was
time, man.
yeah, that was eventful. But that's why every single time I fly now, I try not to take a backpack. I'll have that little shoulder bag, and I just put all my shit in there because whenever I was going to the UK, a friend of mine told me that they'll try to pickpocket you at the bus stations and shit, especially if they hear you talk and know that you're not from there. And so he suggested that I get like a chest bag and don't keep anything in my pockets. He's like, because then at least that way they have to get that bag off of you.
For sure.
You know? So I always travel with that now. And since I was filming, I just put my camera in there. But yeah, then that's the first time I've ever actually seen it happen, though.
Yeah, man. Dude, we were talking like it just all happened so fast.
So fast, dude. I mean, what? It probably seems like it was like a lot longer than it was, you know, but the whole thing was over with in probably like maybe 2 minutes. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe if that. I think less than a minute.
Could be. But then afterwards, like, we were just sitting there reminiscing on the whole thing for like the whole hour and a half drive to Bethlehem.
Like,
and we're like,
dude,
what could have happened?
What could have happened?
Dude? What could
Dude,
if you could go back and do it all over again, what would you do differently?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I probably would have used two hands. You know,
Yeah.
probably would have used two hands.
I might have tried to do something that, because I know I could have done it. I would have like tried to hip toss the guy or something just to look cool, you know?
Ooh, yeah. But then he whacks his head on the concrete. He's out fucking unconscious, cold, or let's say he dies.
Damn, why'd you have to take me to that place, TK?
And see, that's the thing is like when you go and you do something, let's say you do, and they hit their head, fuck, dude, you've just killed somebody, possibly. You know?
That's true.
It's wild.
Well, if he doesn't die, I hip toss him, and I do the Kimura trick that you were teaching with the knee on his shoulder and behind his back.
And then subdue him, cops come there. They're like, oh, man, and then they call you in, give you the key to the city.
Yeah, it turns out that dude was the mayor.
Turns out that guy,
has been a thief there for 10 years, and they can't stop him.
And then the guy he stole from was
guy
somebody
stole-
important.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. Key to the city, bro.
What if that
Like-
dude would have just
like
handed you like
Batman.
$100, said, "Thank you."
Thank you for this.
Gave you
Or
$100.
the lady pulls out her wallet. She's like, "Oh my God, you don't know how much you saved me. Here's $100." That's what should.
Would you have kept the $100?
100%. Oh, thank you.
I don't think you would have. I think it'd have been like, no, it's okay.
No, it's okay. They'll be like, "No, I'm really take it." I'm like, okay. Dude,
That-
it's so awkward when somebody's trying to give you money. You're like, no, it's all good. And they're like, "No, seriously, Zay," and you're like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's you. I feel like the nice thing to do is to always be like, no, you're fine. But if they insist, I'm taking it.
Okay, if you insist.
But what a start to that weekend.
Yeah,
It was crazy, dude. And then the drive, we took the scenic route,
we did, man.
and that on
Rode
the way
through-
there and back,
Yeah, rode through some really cool towns.
bro.
Yeah, little neat.
Some of those
towns.
neighborhoods there, money. I mean, money. Like we saw a couple of places that were like compounds.
Oh yeah,
The gate to their house was like a gate you would see to a community here.
yeah.
Big
Massive property.
money.
Yeah, big.
That what
big
was it, like an
money.
orange Ferrari or Lamborghini or something outside of that one place? God, sick.
Just hanging out.
It was a great time. Yeah, obviously we wish we could have come home with a better result, but
Yeah.
that's the fight game, right? Shit happens.
Yeah,
Austin-
he's competing at the end of this month already. Signed up for Charlotte Open, IBJJF
grapple.
Charlotte Open. He's going to grapple. He's going to do gi and no gi, and then we're working on August 3rd in Virginia for him.
Nice, man. Austin's one of those guys. Like, I think that with everybody, it's you hear people say things like the only thing that's holding him back is him. And that they could be talking about anybody, right? And that's true for everybody.
Yeah.
But man, Austin is that dude is a dog, dude, and it sucks. This past weekend, obviously losing sucks, but I think you said it best in the locker room. He was winning all but 5 seconds of that fight.
Yeah.
It only took 5 seconds, like just for shit not to go his way, and then it's boom, all over.
Yep.
In his past couple of losses that I can think of, like the one in Atlanta.
That's
Same fucking thing.
same thing, man.
Uh,
Yep, and there that goes to a little something going on with the mental side of things. You know what I'm saying? We get in there and things don't start going our way, and we're like, I just want to get done with this, get out of here. And I've been there before, man. It's where you're like, fuck, I'm just ready for this to be over with. The feeling, so you can just, oh man, like you'll accept a loss sometimes just to get out of the situation, which really sucks, man. Yeah. Like I've been there before, and it's not because afterwards you're like, I just did that. I just wilted,
yeah.
But we'll get it back, man. We got a lot of things happening for the team, and try to get Josh on here sometime.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
talk to him a little bit about what's going on with his career and just all in general with,
Yeah. But regardless of the outcome, dude, it's always, it is kind of, it's special for me, right? Because I didn't, I'm one of those guys, I wish that, well, obviously, I wish I would have, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, considering like my health shit. But I was always one of those dudes that wanted to at least try one fight.
Yeah.
But just never had the fucking balls really to do it. So
It's scary.
So getting to do this stuff with you guys is a way for me to kind of like
Be in it, and experience some stuff
vicariously
without,
through you guys, right? So, so regardless of the outcome,
because you still get nervous for the guys.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
dude. I had to go take a shit before Austin walked out this past weekend because I was just fucking nervous,
Yeah.
And but it was still a great experience, just to get to be there and experience it all with you guys. That's why I'm so grateful to grateful that you guys allow me to do that too, because I don't want to seem like a poser, right? Like, I'm there to film, I'm
support too, man.
And
like
support, but that's why I don't like to say much in the locker room, because it's really not my place.
For sure.
I'm not trying to I'm obviously not going to give advice. I might offer some words of affirmation.
Yeah.
I'm just there to kind of play my part and stay in my lane and just take it all in. So it's always a good experience to get to do that, whether it's with, Austin and you guys or Jeremiah or whoever.
Yeah.
It was fun, man. It was another experience in the books and another trip. Me, you, and Nick had some fun too. When Nick wasn't busting his ass on that
skateboard. They had a cool little skate park down there, and it was huge, man. That was a big skate park too.
Yeah, it was all like, they had a couple like ramps, right? But they weren't like vert style ramps. It was all street. So
really neat stuff.
Yeah, it was neat. All right, well, we do have a promotion ceremony tomorrow. I'm going to try to get here early enough to set up to film it. I have another tattoo appointment tomorrow. I thought it was on Friday, but it's tomorrow. So I will be here, but I don't know if I'll be here early enough to set shit up to film it.
No worries.
So
be great.
So we'll see. But if I can get here early enough to film it, then that'll just be. I like to film those and put those on YouTube, just for anybody here that might want to see. They can go back and clip it.
And the people that got promoted and different things like that. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right. Thank you guys for locking in with us. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's keep this thing going. I appreciate you guys, and let's keep going.
Whatever DK said, I concur indubitably. And until next time.
Out.